Hello everybody, and welcome back to Pravus Gaming and more Rimworld in Banshee's Pass. You know something that people were telling me a couple videos ago? This little boom rat that I kind of wrote off and I was like, boom rats suck, they're just gonna explode, I don't want to slaughter this thing. They're like, dude, you can turn it into a freaking weapon! And you know what? Little suicide bomber rat, it actually could be a heck of a lot worse. Maybe we should have Albert try to train it in obedience and then train it in combat. And the next time we get raided, send the little rat into the middle of them. And they're like, what the heck is this creature doing here? And then pop! That sounds like a good idea. Kudos to those of you who suggested it. Probably should have said something about it last video, but I forgot. But yes, that's what we're going to be doing. We're going to train up the boom rat. I also, last video, was trying to experiment a bit more with caravans. I'll just go ahead and say, some people will probably get mad at me that I didn't figure it out. I think it's a bug, from what I've been able to read, but I could be entirely wrong, and if that's the case, and people are upset by that, I apologize. However, it's difficult for me to respond when I record things in batches. So you may have to wait a couple videos before I can figure it out if there is, in fact, a solution. I'm going to try to widen out the freezer a little bit because this is getting kind of small and cramped. And I wouldn't mind fitting a bit more corn, because I think we have a new harvest coming in. Hooray! Do we have heal root somewhere, by the way? Oh yeah, sure enough. Herbal medicine. Nice. Spoils in 2 years and 1 quadrum. Which, by the way, someone else told me as well that a quadrum is supposed to be a quarter of a year because the developers decided it makes more sense for to be measuring things in quarters of a year on distant planets rather than in months. And you know what? I think there's some truth to that. I think that can make some sense. So appreciate the follow-up on that. I do. I really do. Let's deconstruct some of this stuff, get the wood back. We'll place down some flooring. Now this area is closed off, I'm not too worried about losing all of our nice cold air. Another reason to get an auto door, by the way, over here. So this door closes faster and we can retain the cold. Because it's warming up in here every time these people just pop in and the cold escapes. Or rather, I don't like when people talk about how the cold escapes, because that's not actually how it works. Heat enters into a cold area. Cold in itself is not like an actual thing. It's really just more of like a being devoid of energy, thermal energy specifically. So yeah, it's not quite accurate to say that the cold gets out. It's more that the heat gets in, basically. Well, that's kind of the idea behind it anyway. We could just mine up a couple extra components, I suppose. That wouldn't be too bad. This area has been beautified a bit. What is this? Is this just rubble or what? I don't think there's anything to clean. These rooms are actually freaking spotless. All right, what can I do as far as beautifying this area up? Well, that's a good question, actually. Placing flooring would certainly help. And I guess it's not a good use of slate, but it's not the worst use of slate. Ooh, sterile tiles. That's the thing that people are using for medical rooms. Keep the room very clean, very useful in hospitals, prevent patients from getting various infections. I wonder if this makes sense for a freezer, too. Concrete. Very ugly. Neutral in terms of looks, slow to build. Quick to move around on, though. See, the thing is, I do like the idea of placing some pathing, because it helps people move around a little bit faster, and I really do think that movement is one of those things where you want to be able to get around very quickly. You know, it's kind of like Banished. You place roads, not just for looks, but because it actually serves a purpose. That is to save myself a little bit of time. Let's place a new door over there, because I think people are having to walk a little too far around to get to their bedrooms. So we did want to set this to being a medical bed, and this one being a prisoner bed, just so I have a bit of variety. I actually kind of want to make these bigger, these bedrooms, that is to say. They do seem a tad small, yeah? Tiny bit? Oh, look at these paved tiles. They look great. Nice. Okay, so people can walk around a tiny bit faster. Could be a lot worse. Maybe I'll place a few more of those. They just cost a little steel, which, you know, not optimal. But let's just try it. There we go. I think that they will prioritize walking over these tiles if it saves them a little bit of time moving around. Cool. All right. Well, in the meantime, I want you guys to focus a bit more on research. Sarai, you're an engineer and all that. I'm going to reduce your crafting and your construction and your mining. Say that research is a top priority. Whenever I want something researched, I want you to get on top of it. Boomrat 1 is a terrible name. Can I name you? Oh, it's been trained in obedience. Nice. What's this? Follow master while doing field work or drafted. Not necessarily what I want you to do. I want to release you. Maybe this is something I want to do later. I'm a little worried that if, gosh, they wake up in the middle of the night every time. I'm a little bit worried that if he follows Albert around in the middle of a combat zone and doesn't get released and sick on the enemy, he might explode and kill Albert. Which would be a problem. Why can't I change your name? Social, training, master, needs, health. I'm not sure I'm allowed to rename a Boomerat. Maybe I am. I'm looking for the option here, but I'm not really sure where it is. I don't think I'm allowed to rename any of you either, am I? Is there a way to rename people? I mean, if I go in dev mode, sure. But I'm not sure that's something I want to do. Go into dev mode, why? Alright, we're halfway done to training the Boomrat to release. Okay. It's pretty good. Let's get a new work lamp structure, furniture, standing lamp, blah. Because people don't need to work in the dark down here. That's kind of silly. We got a few more components coming in. Nice. And we have placed some of these paths. And sure enough, they do tend to prioritize the pathing. Now, they still cut their corners because they decided that that's a little bit faster. And you know what? Okay. That's fine with me. Let's finish up the auto doors, though, because I do want to close these off and make some proper bedrooms. So what else do we need to be doing? Well, let's see. Wouldn't mind getting a bit more wood. Chop wood. Not much to get there. We did unlock smithing, and I probably should build up a smithing area. See what kind of stuff we can produce. A fueled smithy? Is that what we want? A wood-fueled station. That seems silly. Why would I want to do wood-fueled? Sculptor, hand tailor, stove, fueled stove, stone cutter. Do I have to research a better alternative? Because I don't see something better. Okay, well, for the time being then, I guess we will go for the whole fueled smithy thing. Wood-fueled. Wood doesn't burn very hot, that's the thing. Makes more sense to turn the wood into fuel, chem fuel. I don't think I'm missing anything obvious, though. We could build a better research bench. Let's see. A simple bench with writing implements and low-tech scientific tools. Researcher work here to develop new things. Research is sped up by the high-tech tools, but it requires power. Also components, also steel. It takes up almost all of my components to do this. That's the only problem. We have 14 components right now. I've mined some out here already. Is there more? I do need to be kind of cautious about using up all of my components. Now, I think it's kind of weird that there are things like components just compressed randomly into hillsides and mountains. Kind of makes you wonder a little bit about the history of these places, but even so. Let's go ahead and mine out a couple more of those. There's a few here, I guess. We'll mine those too. Yeah, that's not so bad. Okay, auto doors are done. Let's go to furniture. No, wait. Structure. Auto doors. Oh, let's see. Now, the downside, of course, is that auto doors require a lot of steel as well. And components and stuff. Steel and components? Ick. Is there something else I need to be researching? Terrain rehabilitation? No. Drug production? Tempting. Machining allows me to disassemble machinery or dead mechanoids. Tube television. I don't see the point of that. Electric smelting. That's probably something I actually wanted. Maybe I should have done that instead of this. Probably would have been better. We could make a few things here, though. Orion Corp pacifier? The crap is that? Spear, long swords, and stuff. I mean, until I can make guns, I don't think I get a lot of use out of this, to be honest. I don't really want to revert back down to the Middle Ages and start using crude weapons like that. I think I'd much rather be having, I don't know, guns. Guns are good. You got any guns? Thank you. I'm not sure I want to mess with the auto doors quite yet. I thought I did, but maybe I don't. Let's just place a door here and place a door there. And you know what? We'll also place a door here. Just kind of, I don't know, break that area up a little bit. Floors, paved tiles. I'll just go ahead and place a couple like this. And a couple like this. There we go. Okay, help people get around a little faster. It just takes a little bit of time, but it costs me very little. Just a tiny bit of steel, and it helps people walk faster, which I just generally consider to be a good thing. Again, I've played too much Banished to think that that has to be inconsequential. It's got to be pretty good. Pretty good. Anything else we really want to make for production, though? Besides the high-tech research bench, no, probably not. The basic manager desk, I'm not sure is useful yet. If I had a lot more people, probably, but right now, I don't really think so. Breakdown in the solar generator. That's unfortunate. We're going to have to repair this thing. It's probably going to cost me a component in the process. Hey, this crafting spot is in an inconvenient spot. Get rid of it. There. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and take some of the wood that we have. I'm going to build out the wooden walls a little bit more. We're going to expand out these bedrooms. I just have to think that these rooms are a little bit too small. It wouldn't hurt, right? Surely, wouldn't hurt too much. Can we build medical cots? We can build regular beds, but I think that's something we'll have to research later. Wake up production, different productions, blah, 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 blah. Refining. It's probably a good thing to get. Make chem fuel from wood. Lights, machining, survival meals. Advanced armor. Yes. Fire foam, moisture pump, geothermal power. Ooh, we could use that. We do have a geothermal vent really close by. Wouldn't mind getting my hands on that thing. Hospital bed. That's the thing that I'm talking about. We require a high-tech research bench, and then we'd be able to research that. Helps them recover a little bit faster, increases the chance of successful medical work. Pretty useful, actually. Makes you less wasteful with your medicine, also more likely to have people survive. That's also important. Geothermal power is another thing that we could research if we had a high-tech research bench. I have to think that we want to work on some of the basics first, but later that wouldn't be so bad. Carpet making. Yeah, improve the quality of their environments. People like carpets. That's a thing. What's the temperature in here, by the way? 24 degrees Celsius. That's pretty cozy, I'd say. It's not as warm as it is in here, but that's mostly because we have a lot of electronics. No, I think that's fine. Not bad. Okay, yeah, we have to deconstruct all of this. And when Sarai wakes up, I guess we'll deconstruct that as well. Unfortunately, the daylilies that we have planted aren't able to really go anywhere. We'll plant... Do we have any better joy tools? It says we need colonist beds. It turned all these into prisoner beds for some reason. It seems a little weird. Place that there and there. Place down some new wooden flooring. And we'll reinstall that all later. Joy, I can build chess, a billiards table. I mean, it's nice, but... Besides potted plants, shelf. Items stored in this will not deteriorate even if outside. I'm sure in other circumstances that would be useful. It improves the mood of people nearby. Did I say mood? It improves the mood of people nearby. Place a couple more of those, I guess. Just because keeping people's mood up is kind of important. Could build it out of something other than wood, but meh. I mean, we don't have an entire abundance of wood, but I can't imagine that that's... I can't imagine that using steel or anything is better. Alright, this is not for prisoners. This is your actual bed, and it is assigned to Sarai. Although we probably should reinstall it. I'm getting too hung up on looks right now. I mean... Okay, we'll place that there. Reinstall you here. Reinstall you here. Okay, that's not so bad. Did we finish training the boom rat? It's not an option to train it anymore, so I'm going to have to say yes. Release. Okay. The animal can be released to attack distant targets instead of just defending the master. Seems good enough to me. No more need to train up the boom rat. So we're just working on training the warg. Banshee, how you doing? Whoops, Banshee. 1 out of 7. Still having a really tough time of it. Unfortunately, Albert doesn't have a whole lot of practice in handling animals. I mean, level 8's not terrible. Someone did make the suggestion that one thing we could do is try to train up some smaller animals, like squirrels or something. And from a practical standpoint, that's probably true. Hey look, Muffalo! Must hunt! Must hunt! Kill Muffalo! Yes, it probably would make sense to train something small, rather than move on to the big stuff. I mean, I can't imagine a warg is very easy to deal with. But at the same time, do I really want to worry about a freaking... Whoa, what happened to you? Did you just get attacked by a squirrel? It's a I thought this was the Madden squirrel. It jumps to this one. They're both manhunters. Okay, hang on. Snappy, come here. I need you to kill a squirrel. Albert, run. Run from the squirrel. He's moving so slow, too. All right, Snappy, fire at the squirrel. No, Snappy, kill the squirrel. For real, though, kill the squirrel. It's a squirrel. Kill the squirrel. Kill the squirrel! Oh, God, it's rabid! Okay, problem solved. Yeah, well, that sucks, Albert. I think you need to heal up a little bit, buddy. So we said we wanted this to be medical and this one to be prisoners, right? Or maybe it was the other way around. I don't think I care that much. For flooring, can we afford to build sterile tiles? I mean, it costs a lot of silver. That's the problem. This may be something we want to work toward later, but maybe it's not quite worth it now. Maybe that's a little bit too aggressive. I'm not too sure. Either way, the bedrooms at least are slightly bigger. Could be worse. So where's the other squirrel? Insane squirrel! I don't see the insane squirrel. Alright. And a wind turbine has broken. Oy vey. Okay. Well, not a lot I can do about that. I should have tried moving Banshee to kill it. Banshee can handle a squirrel, surely. Alright, you really could probably... Wait, is that the squirrel? It is! That's the squirrel! Albert, move! Snappy, stop what you're doing. Sneak up on the squirrel from behind. It's gonna kill Albert. It's gonna kill Albert! Okay, Albert, dodge. Snappy's about to take a few shots. Run! Snappy, don't kill Albert! Be careful! Freaking squirrels, though. What the heck happened to drive these squirrels so insane? Oh, that was a little close there, though. Probably shouldn't have double backed like that, but there we go. Problem solved, dead squirrel. And this is why I don't train the squirrels. The squirrels cannot be trusted. Squirrels are horrendous little monsters, I tell you what. I actually had a friend who, well, had a tendency to hunt squirrels and take their tails as trophies. It was a fairly sickening thing, I will admit. One of the things I kind of disapproved of from that perspective, it was like, huh, you just got a wall with like 6 squirrel tails. That's gross. I didn't really understand why he did things like that. Not something I would ever do, but oh well. I mean, what can you do, right? The year is 5,500, really? Wow. Huh, that's not so bad. We could deconstruct this to get some easy blocks, which isn't so bad. No one's doing any research right now. Albert, have you been treated? Health. Yes, you've been bandaged up. Nice. What was that? I missed the message because it immediately went away. Oh, good job, Snappy. Look at you carry that buffalo like a boss. Just big honkin' buffalo. No problem. One woman can absolutely carry that. She's a human computer, okay? She did the calculations, and she found that it was absolutely something she could do. Area has been revealed. Right, we broke into this. That's fine. We're doing okay on food right now, actually. We have a few survival meals. Why can't I send those when I was trying to create a convoy? Another item stash. An AI persona core. That's something we absolutely would need. Huh. It's over here. Alas, I have thus far been unable to create convoys. Gotta make things very difficult as far as trying to escape. First off, does that... You know what? I just realized. That probably kills our ability to get up to the North Pole to try to escape. I mean, unless this was impassable terrain, which I really don't think it was. It's just arid hills, that's it. Terrain. Does it say anything about impassable? It just says movement time. It doesn't say that it's blocked off. Yeah, no, I definitely don't think that that's it. Oh, it's unfortunate. Oh well, yeah, okay, so I guess that does mean that we'll never be able to go to the North Pole and try to use that ship that the AI told me about to try and escape the planet. We're gonna have to build our own if we want to win. How verily, verily unfortunate. Because that's gonna take a heck of a lot longer. But okay, if that's what the game has decided it wants me to do, because mods and conflicts and stuff like that, it is a risk you take. I mean, I'm a little bit disappointed, but I can't say that I'm angry. I mean, whenever you work with mods, this is just a risk, you know? We'll just harvest some of this agave. Let's get some free food. Why not? Agave is delicious. If only I had something to do with this compacted titanium. But I do not. We could start building some more bedrooms if we wanted to. Which wouldn't be so bad. What I'd like to do at the beginning of a day is go ahead and knock out this wall and replace it. Something to beautify the environment a little bit. Ooh, that muffalo was charging. Did you see that? Ha ha ha. It was like, oh, you're gonna take a few shots at me, are you? Well, you're a tiny, puny little monkey man. I'm just gonna kill you. Nope. Albert was ready for you. Sniped it right between the eyes. Good shot, sir. We haven't been raided in a long time, by the way. I'm just gonna point that out once again. I wonder if they recalculated things a little bit. Once they made it more difficult to, like, defend your base, and they made it AI smarter as far as getting around your walls and your death traps. I wonder if they reduced the likelihood of raids. Either that, or I still have not reached a point where I'm considered wealthy enough to justify a large raid. In which case, hey, that's good, and I'm not going to complain about it. But that could be the issue. I'm not sure. I just know that I was kind of expecting this to be a little rougher, you know what I mean? That's why I chose rough as my difficulty. Alright, well, we'll just go ahead and smooth out those floors a little while, I guess. Yeah, things are looking pretty solid over here. What else should we be doing, though? That's the thing. I feel like there's not a lot to do aside from sit back and wait until some research is done. We don't have to build anything new for production. Building the high-tech research bench does sound pretty good. I mean, the research is being sped up. I would like to speed it up. It's not a bad idea. I think it's a good use of components. Let's go ahead and deconstruct that. And as soon as it is done, we will place a new high-tech research bench, which is pretty large, by the way. We'll probably need to deconstruct this thing, too. There we go. We'll have to get this all out of the way. And you know what? Let's, uninstall. Place a new research bench. Make sure the area is beautified a little bit so that people are happy to be working. And with the faster research, we can start unlocking something, I don't know, better, faster. We'll be short on components, but I don't think I care too much about that. Thank you all very much for watching. I do hope you enjoyed. If so, then be sure to hit that like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. And I will see you guys next time.